Has some 300-year-old trees. 5 foot, about 5'8", almost 6 feet, all the way across. I mean, gigantic trees. The forestry cut these down. They fall during storms or termites, and then they cut them. They're too big to remove, and sometimes the logs even sit along the trail, or, you know, I've seen logs on trails, but we're going through a log forest. There's a lot of logs. I call it a log forest, but it's a dense forest. It's like a jungle back in here. This is why a Bigfoot species could be present in this area, present in this region. You have to look at it that there's a million places in the Sierras just like this. You cannot get back in that brush. And something could sit there, you know, for all day, sleep, you know, it'll listen, smell humans, but, you know, come nighttime, you know, it could get its food, its water, and, I mean, there are nocturnal creatures out there. Oh, look at these purple flowers. I mean, exploring and discoveries is really what it's all about. Anyways, we'll press on through this ancient forest. So anyways, folks, I'm eating a Fuji apple. Fuji apples are my favorite because they're one of the sweetest apples in the world. And last week, I had gotten one. It was sour. I was like, ugh, you know. You didn't want to eat it, but at the same time, you didn't want to waste it. But I ate the apple, and I gave the rest away to the Squatch. The Sasquatch likes apples and fruits. They like to, an Apple Valley or Apple Hill, or not Apple Hill, I think it's called Apple Valley. It's Apple Hill? Yeah, up there outside of Placerville, they grow at least 30 types of apples probably. I don't know, crossbreeds and everything, but last week's was sour. This week's, the apple's very sweet like it should be. And Tammy says, I know how to pick them. And she does. This is the perfect apple, man. I'm telling you, if you're going to go hiking, during your hikes, smoke a cigar, drink a brew, eat well, climb some rocks, call it scrambling, because you're scrambled so you don't fall down the crevices, rock to rock like a spider. Have a good time. Enjoy the scenery. I mean, the lake, I want to do more work in the Lake Tahoe region, in the Tahoe region. I mean, there are areas that have less people, and, you know, people have written me and said they have Bigfoot evidence up here. So, I mean, it's a desolation wilderness, so it's very vast up where we're at. And also provides wonderful views of Lake Tahoe itself. But anyways, when you're on a hike, bring about a gallon of water. I bring a gallon, and then I bring extra water bottles. I used to bring Powerade and Gatorade till I found out what was in them. But here's the, it's not healthy for you, so I go with water. Here's the Desolation Wilderness sign. So you can see we've crossed boundaries, and now you kind of get into the, I don't know what you'd call it, probably the Tahoe Forest or Tahoe Basin Forest, because the whole forest surrounds Lake Tahoe, along with many ski, you know, a lot of places to ski and resorts. And there's one resort that has great lemonade if you can hike to their little luncheon in the Sierras. There's another one that has a tram that takes you down to the bottom. You go up Shirley Canyon, follow the creeks, the creek, and you hop boulders, and then all of a sudden, you know, you come up to Shirley Lake, and then you hike maybe another, I don't know, 1,000 feet, and you can go to the restaurant, and they have a free tram, and you can take your dog and go all the way to the bottom. I mean, that's pretty cool. And it provides great views of Tahoe. We're going to do that too. Squaw Valley is where they had the Olympics, the Winter Olympics at. So you can see why this is such a great area. Vegetation's extremely thick. Sorry about the camera having marks on the lenses, but this was made in Indonesia. Like You know, we're just hundreds and hundreds of dollars this camera cost. And I found out when I brought it home that, yeah, it's got great HD, but it had, there's like a hair inside the lens, there's a smudge mark. I couldn't have did that. I can't get behind the lens, the wide angle lens. So I have to take it in, and it'll be 2 weeks before they'll service it. So I'll have no camera for 2 weeks, but we're gonna do we got a ghostly investigation coming up Monday. I'd prefer if it was a little cloudy, give it that creepy feel. It's an old orphanage. It's about 15 buildings on site. They're locked down, but the grounds could be haunted. It's really it's a creepy looking place. Old orphanage, old buildings, you know, basketball court, I think, or tennis court, you know, a field. Some things are bent or just, you know, it's like, you could tell it's like this was an old playground, no longer used. It's got that creepy feeling, you know, you might get some children EVPs or something, because back then, you know, 100-year-old orphanage epidemics broke out and lots of children had died. You know, it's amazing how I'm sitting here looking for Bigfoot tracks and I end up talking about ghosts, but yeah, it's just, it's a gorgeous country back in here. So anyways, we're going to continue. I hear a little waterfall or seasonal creek. We'll continue to head downhill. And all I have to say is, you know, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But I just drank a brew, and now I'm going to bite into this delicious apple. This is what I love. You know what? I'll even get more extreme. I'll tell you what. I'll eat a worm. You guys want to see me eat a worm? Okay, I'll eat a worm. I told you I'd eat a worm. A gummy worm. Pretty funny. Little satire and humor. Burnt log. Yeah, that's not going to start a forest fire. What a shame. Do you see that burnt log? Someone burned that. No fire pit or nothing. Just burned it in the middle of the forest. There may have been a small fire here, but I don't know. I mean, it looked like somebody just tried to burn the log for fire and then close it off with any stone. They could have burnt the whole forest down. Good thing I'm eating an apple and remaining calm, because that makes me really angry. I don't like our forests being burnt down. They burn down, you have nothing to hike, and all the animals die, all the flowers die. Yeah, I understand fire also brings life, fertilizes the soil, and meadows grow in time and new trees, but still, it might take decades for that area to recover. So, don't like to see our forest burnt down. Anyways, this is just a little hiking video. Just show you what the descent looks like. It's pretty steep at times. Loose rocks. You roll your ankle. You roll your ankle, you break your ankle, you pop a pin in it. You know, I completely walked on my ankle today. It went sideways and I stepped down on it. Craziest thing, but a rock made me slip sideways. So, don't think what we do is not dangerous. We may have not found Bigfoot evidence, but I'll tell you what. It's pretty, one little mess up and you're screwed out here. I seen a couple butterflies laying next to each other, so I took photos. And dragonflies, and even a new species of flower that I never found in the Sierras before. But, I don't know, it was very dark purple, bell-like, and a bunch of them grew on a single stem. It was very odd, because it looked similar to another flower that was orange, but only one really grows per stem. Anyways, busy trail, great day, everybody's hiking, having a good time. Hi.
Hi.
You know, one thing I have to say is today I've talked to a lot of hikers and people, and, you know, some I talked to, others, you know, hi, you know, or I took some pictures for some hikers, which I didn't mind. I mean, you know, it's all about doing good deeds for one another. And I have a tripod now, so I never have to ask for help anymore. Be like, help me take a picture, because my tripod, it's special. It can tilt all angles, all ways. It can also, you can crank it up to my height, so that way you can get some beautiful vista shots. And they're perfect, no blur or anything, because they're stills. And I always like to post our stills, because those are the best pictures to always, you know, remember those memories that, hey, we stood like 1,000 feet above Lake Tahoe, and that's pretty cool. That's actually really cool in itself. Here we go. We have a post here. Whoa, used to be a gate, I think. The other half of the post is gone. The gate's gone. I slipped. Watch them rocks. I slipped and shut the video off. Went right down the rocks, and then I flipped it back on. Like I say, this trail will get you if you're not paying attention, or if you just walk on a rock the wrong way. It's covered in sand and it's very slippery. Shoes can slip. You can always get $120 hiking shoes, but I mean, they want an arm and a leg, and you know, our society really doesn't receive enough funding or donation equipments. We're self-funded, and a lot of people take. They don't understand it takes money to preserve these locations, plus our website and traveling, and you know, we go through equipment and shoes and hell, even underwear, and cameras break and we got to buy new ones all the time. Get caught in rainstorms. You're looking for Sasquatch, you know, all night long. Cameras in the elements. I'm catching up with everybody finally. I've been hopping, skipping, and jumping. Once, when I was at the elephant's back, when we hit a trail, we came down, I found an entire huge, it was very wide, it was a track. You know, it wasn't very long, but it was barefoot. You could see all its toes. And I thought, well, that's strange because it's sandy for a few hundred feet, and you have one single track with toes, and it's like, what, did someone lose their shoe? If they did, they had a foot twice as wide as mine. Just weird stuff like that. They call fortean or fortune phenomena. Anyways, Fallen Leaf Lake. Beautiful scenery. Yeah, this is definitely a spot to get a picture. This is Lord Rick.